Philadelphia. I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Yeah, that's right, Monday. It is the draft lottery for the Flyers, so we do have a little bit of like fun stuff tonight. All right, I'm hoping that the father will come around, right? Because we got a priest on the payroll. That he's going to come around, say some good luck charms, a little good luck prayer, right? We want to try to do this. So we got a little bit of that going on. Lots to catch up with as we begin May in earnest. I'm very excited today, though, because today is kind of a bit of a reunited day with my dear friend. VG is in Salt Lake City. So I thought it would be fun to get my main man to reconnect and actually do a show. Now, we used to do our crossovers were like shows then in themselves. So every Thursday when I was on the radio at 97.5, I would do a PARX show at night, Cousins Corner, on Thursday nights. That would lead in to Devon Givens. So I would lead in my main man, right? So he and I would wind up talking for like sometimes an hour. Sometimes 40 minutes, blow through breaks. I used to torture them. And I felt horrible, but I loved to chop it up. And we used to do that. And then, of course, we'd host shows together and all kinds of stuff. So today, give it up for my main man, Devon Givens.
It made those shows go much quicker because it was a 3-hour show that turned into a 2-hour show because you and I would talk for as long as we would. So a good 7:30, 7:45 until 10 o'clock. That was an easy night. Family game night, too.
It was always family game night. You would incorporate me into family game night.
Yeah.
So we would always say, whatever was going on during the day, we'd chop that up. And then, the Sixers were actually relevant back then, so we always talk hoops.
Yep.
But whatever, we talk Feagles, whatever it was. Yeah. Whatever was happening, we would go. And then the next thing you know, I look at the clock. I'm like, oh, damn, I got to go.
Yep.
Like, I got practice or whatever.
Tyler would be back there having a heart attack as it would be going on. We got to go to break. We got to go to break. We got to get
the
show.
God.
Timeout board.
This is why this medium is perfect for us.
Yeah. And
especially me because I used to torture the break thing. I hated going to breaks.
He did.
Hated going like. So I have Tim Legler on, right? And Legs and I are like hot, going on and on and on and on and on. Do I want to stop for a commercial?
No,
I don't.
No, the meat locker. You don't want to
stop. And the way radio worked, it used to kill like the rating system. Right. So I got it, and they used to freak out about that because I would have Baldy on for a meat locker, and I'd blow through whatever, and then I have to make the breaks up, right? So like there would be like an hour where there was like, it was half commercials. And like nobody's listening to half commercials, so you're tuning out, right?
Yeah, right.
Which would hurt the overall ratings of the show.
Yeah.
And they were like, dude, you can't do that. And like intellectually I knew it, but I'm in the middle of great conversation. It used to torture me to go to break. And I used to fight against myself.
I know. And that's the thing. When we get these conversations with whomever, Baldy or Legler, whomever it might be, a coach, we never look at it like it's an interview. We always talked about it. It's a conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
So you don't want to bust up a conversation.
Right. Because there's a flow, a natural flow to a conversation.
Right.
And
they can't hang through the break. They don't want to listen to 7 minutes of a commercial break. No.
And I often thought, like now I made my bones in this business by doing these really long pieces.
Right.
So I would write these really, really long pieces. So I would hang with someone for hours, right? Like I would, as much time as they would give me, I would take.
Yep.
You get a bite to eat, you go do whatever. I'll take a ride. I'm telling you, I was with Kobe. Kobe had to run to the airport. I said, now meanwhile, he was going to the airport. I said, well, dude, we were talking. I was interviewing him after practice, and he was driving. I don't know why he wasn't with the team, but he was driving to the airport himself. He says, I said, I'll take a ride with you. He goes, oh, yeah. And he goes, all right. So I rode with Kobe, because plus I knew LA traffic, right?
Yep.
So I would get all kind of, it's just me and him in a car, right? I would have a great audience with him. And then I could just take a cab back from the airport back to the hotel. So I went to sure enough, it took us like an hour and a half to get to the airport, just chopping it up. Great stuff. Like that's a great story, right?
100%.
Kobe and I wrote it, here's Kobe and I on the way to the airport. And this was before he won the first title. When Phil Jackson was trying to rein him in.
Yeah.
He's coming off the injury.
Right.
That's why it was preseason and he was hurt. And he was coming off the injury. I forget what it was, but he was hurt. And then Phil was trying to, this was going to be Phil was going to break him that year.
Yeah.
And that was the whole piece, Kobe.
And
now
the whole
next
mental
level.
side of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. The Zen master always trying to get into your head.
Yeah.
Kobe, we know he's real philosophical about
Exactly.
the game. And so now it's a chess game between the two.
Right.
Can he break him?
Yeah.
Can he get him to that point?
It was awesome. It was it was really cool.
Yeah.
I had spoken to Phil a while about it, and it was a fun stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we like to do. That's why this medium is so cool, because you get somebody on.
Yeah.
You just free flowing. Now, we have our ads and our commercial breaks, but they're really not breaks. We don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We can just hit them as we do it, and we can go as long as we want.
And it's funny.
Dream.
It's funny because we were on the PHLY Sixers show maybe Thursday, I think it might have been, and we were talking about Wednesday. It was the What If Wednesday, and we had pulled in because of the playoffs were going on Ben Simmons, right? So we talked about Ben Simmons, and I brought up a conversation that I had with his trainer at that time through Clutch, who was JC, my man James Clark. So JC, after the press conference, the introductory press conference at PCOM on Friday, JC came over to the studio since we were across the street. He was like, I'll be over there tomorrow. And so he came over on Saturday. I had the early show that day. I think it was around noon maybe. And JC was only supposed to come in there for about an hour. He wound up doing 3 hours.
Wow.
On the radio with me because Ben Simmons was a mystery. After LSU, if you remember, he disappeared, went to do all his workouts. He and DeJounte Murray were part of Clutch, and JC was their personal trainer. So I pulled up another old video of Chad Ford where he was the only one that had a video of Ben and DeJounte Murray in the gym, shooting threes and all that. So again, Ben Simmons is a mystery. So as it started to play out, JC is talking about everything, and the phones are just lighting up. Meanwhile, I'm not taking a lot of calls because we're just having a conversation. And we're discussing everything, mixing in the phone calls and all, but everybody stayed because the conversation was interesting.
It's great conversation.
This guy was a mystery. All you saw was LSU. He disappeared since March. Nobody knows what's going on. What are you getting out of this guy as the number 1 overall pick? You saw his introductory press conference. But what about the guy who is working him out, working on his jump shot? Can he shoot? As a question at that time, all that stuff. But to your point, it's just a fun conversation that we have where
That's a great get.
I was late to a couple of breaks. Yeah, I was.
That's a great get.
So it was good. By the way, JC right now is the assistant coach for the UCLA women's basketball team. So,
oh, is he really? That's awesome.
He's doing great. That's
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great conversation. It really is. You should get it back on.
Oh, yeah. I was actually talking to him the other day. So he'll come back on.
Yeah. Now that the Simmons thing is going full circle.
Right. And we had pre-planned the show. We kind of switched it at the last minute to go to the Simmons angle. And I was like, had I known, damn, I would have called JC to see if he would just come on the show. Yeah, talk about it a little bit.
Anyway, we got lots to do. So the first hour, I want to focus on the NBA and the Sixers, right? It's a playoff going on. The second hour, we're going to have Charlie O'Connor, and we're going to focus on the Flyers. We have the draft lottery tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll mix in some Phils yesterday. Good weekend. Excellent weekend. By the way, Anthony Gargano Show presented by TrueMark Financial Credit Union and the PARX Sportsbook online casino app. So, good weekend for the Phils. Excellent weekend. And they almost came back and had the sweep. They came back from a 7-2 deficit, and we're on the doorstep. You're in extras, and the only thing that kind of messed you up is Topper ran out of pitchers. Like, the bullpen is an issue. The bullpen's going to be an issue.
It is.
There's just so many guys you trust. I was surprised, and it worked out, that he went to Kerkering in the 4th inning. Like, you're down. At that point, it was 7-1. And I'm like, wow, he's going to Kerkering now? But he kept them in the game, and they followed the suit, right? All the way through Alvarado. You had people were complaining about bringing Alvarado in, right? The kid for the 2nd inning.
Yeah.
I mean, you had nobody else to go to.
Right.
You see what Hernandez gave you.
Yeah. So when you look at the bullpen, as you talked about it, this is going to be an ongoing thing until they address it. So what do they do to address it? It's good to see Kerkering out there doing his part, going that long relief, as you just talked about. And occasionally you'll get something from someone else, but this is going to be something that we talk about for a while, Ant, where they need to address that. And they really need to get it fixed. But to your point of the weekend, 2 of 3, you wanted to sweep. Of course, you want to be greedy after especially some of the lulls that they have had over the past couple of weeks. But it was good to see them take a series. And
Nola pitched well.
And Nola pitched well. And last time I was filling in for you, and I was with VG, that was the last time Nola had pitched, and it wasn't so great. But it was good to see him pitch well, get out there this weekend, look pretty good, and let's see if he can keep that momentum going. But the bullpen, I suspect we'll be talking about that a lot.
Yeah. And listen, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
Well, we have all week. Phillies go to Tampa tomorrow, off day today. So we have all week to talk Phillies. I want to focus on the playoff teams. I want to focus on the playoffs going on right now because it's dark at the Wells Fargo Center, and it's a good time to kind of get through it. Therein lies your NBA bracket. Now, Devon,
yep,
that's a bracket.
That is a bracket.
Now, why did I bring that up?
Well, since we're there, our great producer Andrew Frazier,
I don't know about great,
decided to call it a
standings.
A standings.
He goes. All right, I have the NBA standings for you. Standings, playoff standings. We talk about playoff standings, right? Yeah. And then he flashes it up. It's a good graphic.
They don't do that anymore.
It's good work.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
It's good graphic. Like, flash it up. Like, it's good.
Very clean.
Like, it's a good-looking bracket.
Clear. Right.
But I go, dude, that's not standings. That's a bracket.
That's a bracket.
And only a non-sportsman would call a bracket the standings.
So what do you call the NCAA tournament when they do drop the bracket? Do you call that the NCAA basketball standings?
No, it's a bracket. Yeah.
No, but
I'm in soccer mode, so we don't have they don't have brackets.
Again, non-sportsman, right? Because he says he's flavored completely by soccer, but really, it's the vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
You're judged. The sportsman tag is you're judged by vernacular. Now remember this, Andrew. And Joey's not the biggest sportsman either. Right, because he's a boarder. He's not. He's a skateboarder, right?
Yes.
So I got to make him do a sportsman. He don't have sportsman status either.
You'll get there.
The idea of you never say the Phillies won or the score. What's the score of the Phillies game? 4-6. You never put the lower score to the high. That's a non-sportsman thing to say.
Yeah,
I don't do that. That I won't do.
No, you can't.
I know that rule.
All right, well, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if it ever came up, but I'm just forewarning you.
There are some things I do know.
There's a vernacular.
Yeah,
certain things how you speak about the game is to me red flag, sportsman, non-sportsman.
You have the ear. You just know it, and you put that in your pocket when you meet someone and they want to talk some sort of sports because they know what you do, all that. But they say it, and you're like.
Cringe, right? You cringe.
I can't go too deep into the conversation with this particular.
And oftentimes the answer will make me cringe.
Oh, all right.
You know what I mean?
All right, Drew, you got some work to do, man.
I'm his bane.
You got some work to do.
No, I tease him every day about it. I tease him every day. All right. Let's get into this. All right.
Yeah.
Because we're going to start playoffs. We'll go in the Sixers, but last night. Cavs and Indiana. It was a good game. You said it, man. Good game last night. Indiana wins. And I go, yeah. Playoffs, first round. Here's what I saw. James Harden beat James Harden in a game 7, right? James Harden, 7 points in a game 7 in a debacle loss is exactly who he is, right? And it just brought me back to go, this isn't interesting. So I go to you, tonight is the litmus test. So tonight, it's Boston Knicks and OKC Denver. Great doubleheader. Now, I want to see if this will give me the butterflies. Otherwise, I got no butterflies. I got hockey butterflies. I'm in on last night. Winnipeg, St. Louis was ridiculous, right?
Right.
They're down 3-1, Winnipeg. Pull the goalie, score twice, including with a second and a half left to go to overtime, then win it in the second overtime period. It was unbelievable hockey. Like, it was ridiculous, right?
Yeah. So we are like-minded a lot on the NBA or basketball in general. We're like-minded. But I've enjoyed it a little bit more than you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is it that is exactly
It's not interesting.
keeping you away from it being interesting?
I'm not captivated. Here's what captivated. Let's look at the teams.
Right.
What teams
Start with the Clippers. Start with the Clippers. Since you brought up James Harden. Is it James Harden or is it the entire thing of the Clippers? Because I can look at it and say, Jeff Van Gundy has turned that defense around after being on TV for all these years. And look how good that defense is. Zubac is an all-NBA defender. People may not watch the Clippers and understand it enough to say that.
Nah.
Kawhi Leonard came back from the injury.
No, we talked
he looked
about
like
them.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi was ridiculous.
Right. Oh, Norm Powell, all-star level player.
Yeah, but they came up small.
But they did.
In game 7. And I went,
They did.
See?
Now,
Like,
Kawhi didn't.
No,
Kawhi didn't.
Well, Kawhi never does.
Right. Kawhi didn't, but James Harden did.
But the beard does because
Yeah.
that's what he is.
But it was a good series, though. It was a good
yeah,
series.
but the game 7 was not a good game.
The closeout game was not.
That's what killed it. Right?
Yeah,
And
but then you can look at the other side and say, man, the Nuggets turned it up again. Despite what you thought about
because
the Nuggets.
I know that Harden is a loser.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
And
All right.
that's the same story. Like, it
But
would have been
that's-
interesting
yeah.
if he would have came up and went for 35. I went, wow, look at that.
Now, would you have said, wow, or you been like, where was that in game 7 against Boston in 2023?
I would have definitely said
Right,
that.
so look, yeah.
But in fairness, I would have gave his flowers.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, all right, so let me also talk about this.
Yeah.
Of those games in that series, you had, let's see, a couple good ones and then a couple blowouts.
Yeah, but that's when you have 7-game series.
You're going to have a couple
That's going to
blowouts.
happen. Yeah,
Right.
That's going to
Right.
happen, especially in the first round. No
Right.
matter the opponent, it's going to happen.
And listen, that was a good first round matchup as first round
It was.
goes.
It was.
But it still was the same old, same old. The Harden. I actually thought the Clippers had a chance to make a run.
To like the conference finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were one of the hottest teams going into the playoffs. Yes, 100%. And you have so much where it's not just one player doing everything. It's two, and then you have Norm Powell as the third guy, and everybody else playing their role. They all know their roles. And again, the defense, especially when you're looking at Denver and how everybody's turning it down a little bit on Denver. Michael Porter disappearing. Jamal Murray hasn't been good all year long. They fire their coach. They have no shot.
5 games to go.
Right. They have no shot. But the interesting part of the series is they figured it out. Nikola Jokic was great again. That's why he's talked about as an MVP candidate once again. And so
he's the best.
that's why I look at it.
Here's
And
how I
said,
look at it,
this is
go.
a good series, and we saw some great basketball from great players.
All fair. But
All
I
right.
go, Harden, same nonsense I saw here.
Very true.
All right. And here's Jokic. And when I think of Jokic, who do I think of?
Joel.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's Jokic, who I spent, hours and hours on airtime talking about how Embiid was better. Newsflash.
Well,
I was wrong.
At the time, you were talking about it in the moment.
I was, but one guy still playing, still winning.
I know.
The other guy, not. And so, I mean, you gotta be honest.
No, you're honest about it, but it doesn't let me take away from my enjoyment of the game. I'm a basketball fan
First.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Right. So
agreed.
So the enjoyment of what I was seeing, yeah, I'm ticked off that Joel Embiid is not playing 65 games a year, hopefully 70. And you look at, and it's funny because we were talking about this too on the show, where we were talking about unselfish superstars. The ones who just, Steph Curry, Tim Duncan, Nikola Jokic, of how they do it and how they allow it to happen, where we know Joel's greatness, but sometimes that selfishness is why it stops you from enjoying just watching Jokic and bringing Embiid into the conversation because of that selfishness that you can see in him, where he's unavailable because of the injury and all that stuff that you talk about for where he is right now. I get it, but I can't let it stop me from enjoying it.
No, I know. I want to enjoy it. But again, these storylines, when I think about great NBA playoffs that do not include the Sixers, right?
Right, yeah.
There's a multitude of games that I can close my eyes and just point out, right? Like they just come flooding to memory. And I don't know that this is what I'm seeing. I just don't know. I mean, now tonight's the litmus test because it's now the second round. You got Boston Knicks, and even though Boston should roll, OKC Denver. OKC should roll, but these are, to me, interesting matchups.
They are. Yeah. I hope they don't roll. If they don't roll, of course, that's a good game one for this series. Two Atlantic Division opponents. The Celtics have beaten them all 4 times this season. A couple of close games. On the Knicks side, Jason Tatum had to hit a big shot in the last one to win the game. And some good defensive performances, some really good offensive performances. These two tonight should be some really good basketball games of 4 of the best teams in their conferences all year.
So, but here's my problem with the whole thing. I really think that we mentioned Boston and we mentioned OKC, that it's really about those 2 teams and that neither will be stopped. Like Minnesota, OKC could be a good series. Like I think OKC destroys Denver.
I do too. Yeah, tonight I think they do.
Yeah, and I think they destroy them I think they win in 5.
Okay.
I think Minnesota has a chance to be entertaining, but ultimately OKC is going to win. Like I don't have any doubt. I have no doubt that OKC is in the finals, and it's going to be OKC Boston.
Yeah,
and I don't see anybody beating Boston, and I see OKC Boston and go, that series will be the crown jewel of the playoff. Now, it will be the finals, but everything leading up to it will have not been any good.
If Boston gets knocked off in this series or the next series, that's good basketball.
Do you think that the Knicks could knock off Boston?
Based on the record this year, no. Obviously,
no, based off of your analysis.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think they can compete with them, and I don't think it'd be a 4-0 sweep. I actually think it has a chance to go 6. Great if it goes 7, of course, but no, Boston is the heavy favorite in this series. Heavy favorite in this series.
That's what I mean. Like I look at it and I go, all right, so we'll give you some compelling figures, players themselves. Ant-Man, Jokic. All right. In the East, Brunson, who's like freaking Superman, that kid. I mean, he's ridiculous. Tatum. Who else you got?
Mitchell. Yeah, I mean, but we're still talking about still talking about an all-NBA guy.
Terrific ball player.
Yeah.
Great ball player.
Yeah.
But is that like
Is that a draw? No,
right,
it's not necessarily
a draw. Legendary, like the things of legends?
No, but, like, it has to build to that too. Number 1 all year long. They get the number 1 seed. They lose the first game of this second round matchup against the Indiana Pacers. All right, we got a story now. Yeah. Will they get knocked off? Will Indiana advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the second consecutive year?
For the Celtics.
Yes, but then that's another storyline of where are they? Is Cleveland a fraud? You got all kinds of stuff.
I don't know, man. It's not compelling. It's
Yeah.
not compelling. I don't know what it is. I'm having a tough time. Again, Boston OKC will be a compelling series.
But you have to wait until June for that.
Right.
That's why Boston, New York right now. New York in 7. That'd be a compelling series.
That would be incredible.
Yes, it would.
But intellectually speaking, I don't see that.
I know.
I mean, I see Boston in 5.
All right.
What do you see?
I had Boston in 6.
Okay.
If the Knicks win, it's probably going to have to be 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Boston in 6, though. I don't see the Knicks again getting swept.
No, I don't. I give them a game. I think there's a game. I could see, like, you know what it feels like? It feels like playoffs light. Like there'll be all the Garden and all the celebrities will be there and it'll be all that. And then it'll just be, Boston in 5 or 6.
Boston in 6.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
In 6.
All right. Let's take care of some business and let's go to maybe what is the true bane of my existence.
Okay.
Your Philadelphia 76ers. And maybe it's why I got a bad attitude about the NBA. And it could just have to do with the Sixers. As much as the way you look at the NBA is the way I look at the NFL. Like, your NBA love is way, it's at the ceiling.
Yes.
And as much as you love the Sixers, if we're talking about this building, your love of the NBA is 7 floors high. Your love of the Sixers is 2 floors high. Because you love the Sixers, but you love the game. And I'm probably the same way with the NFL and the Eagles. Like, I love the Eagles, but I love the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an NFL fan no matter what. I love football the way you love basketball.
I do.
Right?
I do.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And so for you, this is, for me, I'm a little bit higher. My Sixer love creeps to, comparatively speaking, to 4th floor.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I find the enjoyment in the basketball.
Yeah.
I find it somewhere.
Usually do.
I'll find it somewhere.
But I just can't. I don't know, man. I'm looking. And I've been distracted. I got to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, when I was...
The hockey's been unbelievable.
I've been paying attention. Obviously, I knew I would be in here with you today, so of course I paid more attention last night. But when, NBA, I'm 7 floors up, man. And I'm finding something. How did Kawhi do that again?
Yeah.
How did he find it? I thought he didn't have any knees left. And he found it.
Kawhi ridiculous.
Yeah.
But then all roads lead back to Harden.
I hear you.
Harden. Oh, God!
Daryl Morey's a liar.
James Harden.
Daryl Morey's a liar.
Oh.
He said it, not me.
But can I just tell you?
Yeah.
The names Harden and Morey, I just could do without for the rest of my life. Like, I'm done. Like, I've heard the names enough.
And it's only been, 3, 4 seasons? 4? 3, 4,
Man.
maybe.
Just beat up over it.
It's all beat up now.
All right, let's take care of some of our friends, shall we? Let's get involved with, that's right, PARX Casino Street Road Bet Sale coming up in about 10 minutes. The Brain will join us to go over all the selections. VG, another big night, is rolling in the competition against the Brain.
Right.
So, he's going to check in from Salt Lake City, one of the worst places ever.
Vernon Maxwell.
First of all, I'm a sea man, not a monster man, but a mountain man.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I like to see over the mountain. And then the other thing is, man, that town's got no flavor to it. I've been to all cities. That city. And again, when I was there, you had to buy like a club. You had to be a private member to a club just to get a drink because of the Mormon laws.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a watered down drink, beer. It was just bad. Not fun.
Never been, but
you're not missing
heard
anything.
about, yeah,
Beautiful.
Exactly.
It looks like a movie set. Like you're walking and you see the mountains in the background, pristine. You can eat off the sidewalks.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not our town.
No.
Not our town.
But all that stuff, all the NBA, the NHL, Fighting Phils, all that stuff, you can bet on the PARX Sportsbook online casino app. So make sure you download it right to your phone. Also, there's always another way to win. Live dealer blackjack, live dealer roulette, craps. It's right there in the hot online casino stuff. All your favorite TV shows like Peaky Blinders and all the ones that are hot. VG likes that Cash Eruption. And the one with, what's he like, Andrew?
Blue Wizard.
That's right, the Blue Wizard. I think he's on some sort of blue pill wizard.
He's on
gummy.
some blue, yeah.
Yeah, he's on it, whatever, but he loves the Blue Wizard. So you can check it all out on the app. In fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down the first 24 hours. BetParx.com has all the details. You got to be 21. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Michigan, Maryland, Ohio. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, D, you want to tell us about a little Empire?
Yes, I do. Empire has some flooring experts, and you need dedicated flooring professionals who focus on flooring every single day. And we've all been to those big box stores. You wander aisles endlessly. Then somehow you're hauling all these materials home looking for an installer and coordinating everything yourself. Well, those big box stores might have a flooring department, but the person helping you with the flooring, they may have also been doing sinks yesterday, could be stocking the light bulbs tomorrow, could be looking at the cabinets on Wednesday. Well, that's why you need to go to Empire. And why is Empire today your best bet for a new floor? Well, Empire today lives and breathes flooring, and they will be with you every step of the way. It's a whole different ball game. Their flooring experts bring the showroom right to your home. Pick the right flooring and the right colors for your space. See how it looks in your future, in your house, the furniture as well, in your home, and get a precise measurement taken and have all your questions answered so there are no surprises. With Empire today, you get clear upfront and inclusive pricing, plus you can schedule installation as soon as the next day. Get all that done. Schedule a free home estimate today because some things are just better at home. PHLY listeners, you can receive $350 in discounts while using promo code PHLY. We all like discounts. Yes, you heard it right. A $350 discount with code PHLY. Restrictions apply. Visit Empire today/PHLY for full details.
Empire
Today.
Love it.
It's so good having you hang. It's great to hang with you. I miss you.
It's good to see you. Yeah.
This is from Eddie Wright. Harden is a choke artist, but he's been to more conference finals than the Sixers since 1985. He and Simmons are eliminated, but we're still holding the bag of slop management and podcast PP.
He added the double P, huh? Well, I won't disagree. I mean, I can't disagree with the conference finals appearances. I can't disagree with that.
You can't disagree with any of it.
But he's
podcast PP.
yeah. I mean, we've got so many nicknames for him with Perry AP and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, I saw something yesterday where he's been in Game 7s and lost in Game 7s with all four franchises that he's been a part of. That's not great.
And how about his numbers?
And his numbers are not
good. His numbers.
In those elimination games,
horrible.
It's not good. It's not good at all.
But here's the thing. I can't even take glee in the fact that he's a choke artist. I can't even take glee in it. I can't take glee in the fact that the biggest fraud of all time, Ben Simmons, is out. Like, I can't even take any glee in it. Here's the thing. Let's turn this over to the Sixers.
I don't even think he played in the game. Game 7. I don't even think he played 5 minutes, by the way.
Remember the one air ball?
Before.
Remember the one air ball?
Oh, yeah. That was the game. Yeah, he jump hook.
Yeah.
7 feet away. Jump hook.
So let's talk about this.
All right.
How in the world, what can they do? The Lakers there's LeBron crying about Anthony Davis. Is there any way that you could move Embiid to the Lakers? Problem is they got nothing, right? So you're just letting him go for nothing.
Yeah, you're trying to get Dalton Connect back, pick or two if you could, and just some other like Rui Hachimura. I think I was talking to Vince about this. Rui Hachimura, because he has a decent number on his contract because you have to match those salaries. But Hachimura, Dalton Connect first-round picks. That's the type of stuff that you're getting back. That's not what you want for Joel Embiid. But the problem is his value is not there because he only played 19 games this season. So is that something that you're willing to do, or would you like to get him back on the floor, rebuild the value a bit, see what that looks like maybe midseason or next summer should they get through it, and then revisit it? Because right now, why would the Lakers take him? Why would they even take him? They have no idea what his knees look like.
Yeah, well, they would take him for the fact that they have no other answers, no other solutions for a big. So you bet on Embiid.
They failed a young Mark Williams, 23 years old. They failed his physical. If they needed him badly at that point, and we saw where it bit them in know what in the playoffs.
But LeBron goes, now you were to tell me
I get it. Mark
LeBron
Williams
doesn't get enticed by Embiid.
Yeah,
and they all know about the knee.
Team USA, all that
So they
stuff.
go, hey, if you're LeBron, if I'm the Lakers, I run to the Sixers. Because here's the thing. I go, you know what? This is it. Right? Like, I got to take a shot. And if somehow the knee, I can work with it and play X amount of games, then I'm walking with Embiid, LeBron, and Luka. Are you kidding me?
No, I mean that's a great trio. Yeah, you're right.
That's the gamble. You rolling the bones for that? If I'm the Lakers, I go, yeah.
If I'm the Lakers, I revisit a younger, because here's what Luka likes. Luka likes a lob threat. Joel is not that. That pick and roll with the lob threat, that's what he likes.
I mean, I get it, but I mean,
this is
what
what
are you
it
going to
is.
get? You got and by the way, you have no chips to play.
Well, I'll give you one like Kyle brought up on our show. Nick Claxton. Young, rim-running, defensive lob threat. That's the type that Luka wants.
Yeah, but you ain't winning a title with Nick Claxton.
I don't know. I mean, if they had somebody in the middle, they would have won that series against, or at least it would have been. Yeah, I think they would have won that series.
You gotta go upside.
I don't know.
You gotta go upside.
No. I mean, it's Joel.
What's LeBron got?
Two, maybe two. Max. Because you saw
Nick
where
Claxton
he wore down.
Is not the answer.
No, but that's where Austin Reeves is supposed to do Austin Reeves stuffs in that moment to pick up.
It all depends. Are you trying to win one next year?
Well, he's out of there too. If that's the case, Austin Reeves are probably, I would think. If you get Nick Claxton or Joel, you might have to try to throw them in there. Yeah,
but if you're the Lakers, you're trying to win next year.
No, you are, and I understand. That's what Joel
so you gotta
comes into play.
You know what?
Let's take a swing.
Take a big swing.
That's a huge swing.
Now, if you're the Sixers, you say, all right, what do I know? I've been down this road a million times. What's going to change? Like, is there a chance? I guess. But ultimately, is it going to work out? And not just with Joel. I also got to deal with George, right? Like, he's the other one. Like, at least Joel's with LeBron and Luka. If I'm the Sixers, I got PG. That's going to give me the same thing. He's the same guy you can't count on. So are you better off restarting the whole thing and just giving Embiid away and giving PG away and get out of those contracts?
One, I don't know the Lakers' situation as far as second apron team and all. So I don't know that. I would have to look that up and check that out. Don't know that because that plays a big part.
Let's talk about in theory.
Right, in theory. It would make a ton of sense for them to do something like that. Take the gamble. You already took a gamble by moving Anthony Davis, who, whatever it was, he helped you win a championship. And you swung and missed on the Mark Williams thing where you bailed out on that physical and said no thanks to a 24-year-old. Now, your options are Nick Claxton, Joel Embiid, maybe a few other rim-running bigs that you have in the NBA. Of course, he's going to be at the top of the list. He should be at the top of the list.
And the way they play.
They like to get up and down the floor, too, and he can't anymore.
Okay, but they could also play half court.
Oh yeah, and it's going to slow down.
With LeBron and even Luka could play half court.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah,
right?
No doubt.
So with LeBron, Luka, and Embiid, instead of trying to go run up and down the floor, go dominate half court, and that's akin to the Eagles going all in on a run game.
It is.
That could win.
It could. It could. Why would the health though show up there and not here?
Well, again,
I mean,
you're
like
just
you said,
betting on.
like you said, hypothetically,
You're just betting on that he understands that it's going to be nagging pain,
right?
And you manage it during the year, and you know what?
I know, I get it, and
it just works out.
And I'm not ignoring it. I'm just saying, taking all the things away from it, just simply talking about trading Joel Embiid, that's a really good spot for him. It's a good spot for him.
Otherwise, you keep him, and for 3 years, you're probably not going to do anything, you know. And at the end of the 3 years, you're going to be stuck. Well, actually, you're going to be stuck after this year with 2 majorly bloated contracts and hamstrung.
So why not try to move the Paul George one first?
Well, the Lakers are right in front of you. Lakers go, I want the big guy. Listen,
after you move the big guy,
I can't wait to get rid of Paul George.
No,
I
know.
Listen, he was an unmitigated disaster. I mean, quite frankly, nobody was excited. Like, yeah, PG. We tried to feign excitement because we all knew it was going to happen. And it was like the only thing that could happen. The only thing that made sense. Like, it was one of those pieces that intellectually Paul George made sense, but in your heart of hearts, you knew it was going to flop.
You talked yourself into it. You just basically talked yourself into it. No,
you
I
knew,
get it. Yeah,
you knew deep down it was going to flop. We even split it up. Like, yeah,
you can see it going this way too.
Yeah, we brought up as caveat.
Yes.
As much as we went through the schedule of the W's and the L's.
Were they like 70 and 12?
Yeah,
that day, that morning. No, look, I know, and most people were good on it, but there was a good majority of people that said, I don't like this from the get-go. Before it even happened.
Well, they were right.
When we were talking about it, they did not like it. And it
there was no
itself.
other optionality. The problem was optionality. No other options. Other than moving Embiid then.
Well, there were options because they had the money to go and do it like a Clippers way. Derek Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, those types of names where you just have where you have guys. But
here's the thing, Harden, it was Harden.
I know.
Harden, why they won was because of Harden.
Would you have kept Harden?
I mean,
not on the max, because I think we were in line at the time. Don't give him a max.
Oh, yeah.
But go 3 years.
Yeah.
Team
if it wasn't
player
a max,
option third year.
But he
wanted the full max.
Yeah, I don't want to give him the max.
No, but if you were able to keep him what he signed for, which was a 3-year deal with the Clippers, you would have done it.
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't have had this Paul George situation at all.
Yeah, we would have lost Game 7 anyway.
Still would have lost Game 7.
But they never would have got the playoffs because there's no Embiid anyway.
No, that's not true. Not true. Harden, Maxey, for a good stretch, they're winning you games. You're getting into the playoffs. Harden and Maxey are getting you to the playoffs.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, they are.
All right, you're out in the first round. Yeah.
All right. But you're in there.
Probably.
And then we're reevaluating in a different way. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, would have brought Harden back. Still would have lost in Game 7.
But right. It wouldn't have mattered because we've seen.
But it would have mattered because we wouldn't be sitting here talking about a lottery a week from tonight.
Oh, God, but I saw the same.
No, I know.
I can't go revisionist history. Harden, like I watched him lose Game 6 and 7 against Boston.
But you're just talking about how much you can't stand Paul George. And the option of would you have preferred to keep that instead? That's all I'm saying. Would you have preferred to keep that instead of what you have now? That's all I'm saying.
Man, it's like, what do I want? What debilitating?
I know.
What debilitating disease
this is
do
what
I
they've
want?
Done.
Disease A or disease B?
This is what they've done.
My God. All right, let's bring the brain on. But what do you do? Like, do you want to start over?
I'm not.
What's your vote?
I'm not there yet. I'm not. And I know deep down.
You see what the road's going to lead you.
And it could be here fast.
Yeah.
It could be a dead end
and you know
very
what?
fast.
And you know what that dead end's going to be?
Right.
A brick wall. Like you're going to keep going and you're going to go like this. And when you hit it, it's going to hurt.
I know.
You think it's clear sailing?
I've never heard you talk about moving Embiid.
No, I never did.
Never.
But now now it is like the Paul George thing was like, all right, let's take one more shot.
One more shot.
And hope that Paul George loses his fleas. All right? And take one more shot.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen.
Yep.
So now it's like, I don't see, because it's not just Embiid that you're worried about. You have both of them. And at this point, I'd rather just start over. I'm at the point. I just want to start over. Let's go to the brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
Joey, did you just DoorDash Starbucks? What did you DoorDash? You two got coffee. And what else? Is that it?
I didn't even know this was happening.
What did you get? 2 coffees.
Could have got us a lemon cake.
Now what's it? A, you didn't ask us, but it's all right. No. But B, I'm sorry, Brain, give me 1 second. I got to school the kids, Brain.
Time.
And how much does that cost you? $14 for 2 coffees. Is any of them a latte? 1 latte, 1 coffee? Yeah. Cost you $14? My God. This one, Mr. DoorDash. What'd you DoorDash the other day? The Brain would tell you, don't DoorDash.
I got to stop. It's bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you're paying. These guys are paying. Brain. Yeah. This kid's paying $22 for a freaking bagel sandwich.
Yeah, it's not good.
Get ripped off, man.
Yeah, that's
Get
hefty.
ripped off.
That's hefty.
All right. Well, good morning, Brain.
Good morning, Anthony. I got to tell you, James Harden, heard you guys talking. Last 3 losses in that Denver series, 10 of 28, averaging 11 points a game. Yeah, I really miss that. Stop it. Come on.
Ooh.
Come on. You're better than that. You're better than that, Bodie. Come
Brad,
on.
I mean,
Come on.
Ed just sitting here, we talking
I'm
about
not saying he's not a Hall of
George,
Famer.
the Paul George situation. If you had to choose between the two, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're saying who's heavier, 500-pound guy or 468-pound guy, okay, the 468-pound guy's not exactly svelte. So I would just still say.
Yeah, we were just saying
we did the James Harden
A or
thing.
disease B?
Right.
Something like that. And look, listen, by the way, he's
Which
a Hall of
VD
Fame
do you
player.
want?
And I'm not, and I agree with you. He clearly would be better than Paul George. There's not even a question.
That's all.
I agree.
That's all
You're
I was
right.
saying. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I always try to be fair about this stuff. What would you have said? And again, be honest, and you're always honest guy. What would you have said before Paul George got here? Before last year, we saw it was the worst experience ever. But before, if I go, you know what, you get your chance, Harden or George, who are you taking? Before we saw how bad it was.
Season, I would have gone with Paul George.
Right. Okay. Same here. And I would have been as wrong can be. And that's my point, where I can't rip them when they went with the Harden thing. It didn't work. And they're like, okay, look, it's always like, I always said there was Jerry Rice was great until one day that he wasn't, right? Finally at 42, whatever it was. All these athletes at some point, you just don't know what that point is. No one ever knows, right? When that breaking point comes where they're no longer elite or they're no longer good or they're no longer, something just happens. There's always at some points an athlete's career where their body breaks down a little bit. Paul George, in fairness to the Sixers, in my opinion, he'd still been an all-star caliber player until this year. So I can't I'm not going to be one of those people who just piles on saying, listen, I would have done the same thing. It didn't work out, but it just seemed like the end just crept up on him so quickly. Again, maybe it'll change next year, but I'm not optimistic. I don't know if you guys agree.
So this is the question, and this is where we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you blow it up? There's a chance, right, that the
How can you blow it up, though, Anthony?
What?
How can you blow it up?
Okay, so
Tell
hear
me
me
how.
out. So there's a chance the Lakers would have interest in Embiid, right? Because the Lakers,
Really?
yes, the Lakers would have interest in Embiid. They want to take a shot on a big man. LeBron was talking about it, right? So you can trade Embiid, get rid of the Embiid. You get nothing back, right? Like you just get money back and Hachimura and whatever. And then and then you have to give away Paul George, get nothing back but bad contracts. Do you do it? Do you do it?
Do it? It depends what I'll be honest, it would actually depend exactly what I am getting back. If I could argue it's like an okay.
You're getting all gots. You get nothing. Nothing usable. Nothing tangible.
My answer will be no, I would not.
Okay.
And again, it's kind of like anything in life. I always make bets where I think I'm going to lose, but I think the odds are worth me doing.
But here's
For
where
example,
you're
I think
winning.
a bet should be 5-1. I'm getting 20-1. I'll take the 20-1.
But here's
I
where
think
you're
it's going to
winning,
work out.
You're winning in this sense. You're expediting the rebuild.
Inevitable, right?
Like,
but here's the thing,
you do it is to say, hey, in 2 years, I'm not looking up at 2 ginormous dead contracts.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm really not. Well, 2 years. Well, Paul George has how many years left?
3.
So after this year, it'll be 2. So okay.
No. After this, after the upcoming year, it'll be 3.
Right. So I'm going to say, I can't say, well, I think the odds, unfortunately, he's going down probably a Jeff Rulin, Bill Walton, Andrew Bynum path. I'm praying that's not the case. And there's not a non-zero chance that he's Kawhi Leonard, right? I can't say it's a non-zero chance, talking about Embiid, where he comes back and is actually plays. Kawhi Leonard, let's be fair. If you were a Clippers fan.
If you're the Lakers, you bet on that because you got LeBron
and
Luka, right? If you're the Sixers.
From the Lakers, I get it.
But if you're the Sixers, you got two wild cards. You got the deal with Embiid. You also got Paul George, who, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, what's he going to be?
But if you're getting literally nothing back, Anthony, you have to say to yourself, it's just a tough pill to swallow.
What you're getting back is you're getting back your future.
The flexibility. Right. And I get, listen, again, when they cut bait with Markelle Fultz and they invested the #1 pick in that I totally was all on board. Okay, listen, this guy stinks. Like, I absolutely, there's nothing, he's never going to be anything. But because Embiid's had, Hall of Fame career, and again, I can't call it a non-zero chance. No, again, I'd have to listen to my doctors. My doctors told me, listen, this guy's never, ever going to be able to play more than whatever it is. Then I'd have to probably listen to my doctors, Anthony. If they told me they thought he could be rehabbed, I would probably be a stubborn mule and give it one more shot. If they said, you're just absolutely, it's just never going to happen.
Jeff Rowland, do you really need doctors to tell you what's going on with a degenerative knee?
And they already told you in the offseason that the reason why they signed him was because they listened to the doctors, and the doctors told him that his knee was good to give him the extension that they gave him, and here we are.
Yeah.
Because it goes back to he can't play with pain.
It's up to him.
Yeah. The pain bothers him, nags him, and he thinks there's something wrong with it. So, it hurts.
What are you going to do?
Same player.
It kind of reminds me when they say heads I win, tails you lose. I feel like it's just whatever one you go down. If you give up and just say, all right, we're giving this guy up for nothing. Yeah, you get your financial freedom, but you're saying, okay, we're going to be the Utah Jazz, Washington Wizards. Maybe not that bad, but it's just kind of depressing that you're like, oh wow, we're really just giving up, so to speak. We're tapping out. But you're right. If you stick with it, and then the same thing happens, you're like, I will say this: nothing could have been worse, guys. And look, you guys have been following the Sixers forever, like I have. There's never, I don't care what year you give me the process year when they won 11 games or whatever it was. I think this was the worst year in franchise history, and you will never convince me that I'm wrong. I know there were years they had worse records. That's not what I'm saying. But in terms of what the expectations were and actually having to watch what they put out, the product they put out, I'll go as far to say this was the worst year of any Philadelphia team. I'm going to go that far. I'm actually going to go the worst year of any Philadelphia franchise team I've seen since I've been alive. I'm 54 years old. I thought this was the worst.
Awful.
Factoring in everything.
Awful.
I thought it was the most just awful. And there was no interest in the team. And if you're running the team, then you have to say, listen, how can I draw up interest? Because there was zero interest in this team. So look, maybe you guys are right and you do just have to, I'm curious though, how confident are you both, you two, that you could even do what you said?
I'm more,
and get a do-over.
I've argued against Anna already in it because I didn't think that they would be able to get done. just because of the
right,
need.
exactly, right.
Yeah, because the value isn't there. Like the example that I was talking about Vince giving was Hachimura, Finney Smith, Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Connect, and a first-round pick. 4 of those guys are expiring, and Dalton Connect you keep, and you get that first-round pick. That's not enticing. And I just don't know what his value would have been. Let's say last summer, maybe it was 3 or 4 first-round picks.
He's got no value.
Oh, right, for sure.
Yeah, but for
sure. They could have had Luka Doncic. They could have Luka Doncic. That's what the value would have been. I mean, right? Right? I mean, like, yeah, the value would have been insane,
but
guys.
The point is that you got nothing, right?
Today. Now, I know.
And it's not going to turn into anything. You keep looking at it, thinking it's going to turn into gold, and it's just sitting there. It's nothing. It's just a rotting apple.
And here's the other thing.
Do you remember the movie Trading Places? Dan Aykroyd's like, I paid $25,000 for this watch. It tells times in 250 countries. And the guy goes, in Philadelphia, it's worth $50.
That's right.
Right now, Joel Embiid's worth $50. You know, that's just the way that it is.
When you brought up the Kawhi Leonard example of him coming back, the only difference is one is 7'2", 280 pounds. The other one is 6'7", and weighs a lot less.
Great point.
Yeah. So
great point by you. Which is why, by the way, again, I said it's a non-zero chance, but what do I think the chances of him having another year that we've seen? Maybe I'll get to 1 in 6. Maybe I get the 15%, 16% chance of something like that. But I think the odds are so against it, like Anthony's saying. But it's also, but you invested so much into this guy, right?
Yeah.
So much into
him. It's over.
And it's hard to.
I love him too. And it's over. Nothing left. Yeah. It's done.
Yeah.
Finite.
But I just don't even. Again, I'd be curious to know
dead.
If you are even right and he even can be given away, so to speak, and just say, "Listen, it happened. There's nothing we can
give him
do."
away.
He's
to this.
Yeah, he's arguing against giving him away because there's nothing that entices him.
Yeah,
I'm saying
because it's him.
But there shouldn't be.
We're talking about it this way because it's him. It's like, no, I'm not giving him away for Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, and that stuff. He's that guy, but today he's not that guy.
Exactly.
It's like when Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, right? My part of me, I just wanted to think, oh, it's Mike Tyson. Like I just, I grew up. Tyson was my favorite.
Right.
I love Tyson.
I get it.
And I just wanted to think,
it's a shame.
But it wasn't Mike Tyson anymore.
And I got a little will towards Embiid because to me, it's just all about the energy, the injuries, and is what it is. He was injured when he was drafted, and he's a fragile. He's been fragile. That's what he is, a fragile athlete. Great, tremendous athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever seen an athlete as good as him? I always thought this was my amazing player, Embiid, that falls down and seems like clumsy. Every Sixer game I watch, he falls down 12 times a game, and I'm like, this is like a great athlete. I don't understand. He just something about him. Again, it's not a fluke to me that he always was hurt. I could just say that, like the way he just seemed to be a kind of as great as he was. It just seemed like it was always something that was going to just go amiss to me. And again, I don't know, but it's a shame. I'm rooting that he's healthy, but I kind of feel the way Anthony feels. I think the odds are against it, but I get what you're saying, Devon. It's like, it's just so hard to just take so little for a guy who was so great.
I mean that, and there lies the conundrum. All right, Brain, we got to do this.
Yes, sir.
What do you like tonight? Got a couple games tonight, new series.
Let's go Knicks.
Cousins ready?
Yeah, well, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's happening. Well, Anthony, I did go 3-1 up to 500 finally. Took forever today, but I'm going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 things. 6 things real quick.
Okay.
We're going to go Jaylen Brown under 6.5 rebounds. Start off with some unders. 41-22 to the under, 15-5 his last 20. I think it should be 5.5. Jalen Brunson, Knicks. Under 3.5 assists. We've done this before. We're going to do it again. 46-19 to the under. He just doesn't rebound. But I'm now going to give you some overs. Josh Hart over 10.5 points. He did go over that. That Pistons series. He went over 4 or 6 times. He averaging 14. I think 10.5 is a little bit too light. 59-18 to the over. I would have made this closer to 12.5. Michael Porter Jr. Been hit the last 2, and I've done with him. I'm going to go over 11.5 points again. 63-14 for the year. Now, shouldn't be that way. He was only 4-3 this series. I'm not expecting him to get the 19 he averaged during the year, but I still think he can get 13. We're going over 11.5 for Porter. Russell Westbrook, guys, you know, you say what you want to say about him. That guy, give him credit. He freaking was good for them and give good energy. His PRA is 19.5. You know, during the year, he was 22-8 his last 30. He's still getting the same minutes. He got 29 minutes in that series. He averaged 20 in this regular series, 4-1 in the 5 games he played against the Clippers. I'm taking over 19.5 his PRA, points, rebounds, and assists. And Jalen Williams, OKC, we're going under 5.5 assists. Should be 4.5, 44 and 25 to that under.
All right. How about the games themselves? Like, do you have any leans?
Well, it's full. I will say this. It's funny. Well, getting ahead of ourselves a day, but man, I got to tell you, I'm very surprised that Cleveland's a 10-point favorite over Indiana. I actually think Indiana had a chance to win the series. So I just, that to me is a crazy line. But in tonight's games, I lean Boston. Pure anti-Knicks play. I just think the Knicks are just not good. Again, I'm not going to bet it, but I actually lean towards Boston laying 4.5 in the first half. I think they get off to at least a 5-point lead at home. They start off well. I do not trust Knicks a little bit. And the only way I could look is OKC. Emotional 7-game series win for Denver. I think OKC does win this game by double digits. OKC out of the 2 games tonight, definitely my favorite of the 2.
How about the series? How many games ago?
Well, I mean, look, they're look, you don't need me to tell you. Although, by the way, Anthony, I just got to tell you, remember what I said on the show the other day? I said, since that Embiid bet, I'm going to give you a bet that I think is the best bet I've seen in the past 6 months was Halliburton.
Halliburton.
You know what he closed at? Yeah, he closed. Remember, he was minus 300.
Yeah,
closed at minus 5,000, 50 to 1.
Wow.
So I was right.
You're right.
Yeah, it was 3 to 1. So laying 3 to 1 versus laying 50 to 1, pretty big difference. But yeah, series prices. Look, I think it's going to be OKC, and I think it's going to be Boston. I'm not going to lay that wood with either of those 2 teams, but I do think both of them get there. I was hoping to bet Minnesota against Golden State, but man, they made that series price huge. I can't do it, but I do think Timberwolves are going to win the series. But man, they're almost a 2-to-1 favorite.
Yeah,
came in a lot heavier than I thought it would be.
And Brad, when you talk about that number for the game 2, Indiana and Cleveland, do you think that's more because they might believe that Garland is back for game 2?
Even if Garland plays, here's the thing, and look, that was a big thing. Again, I liked Indiana in game 1. I am like 8.5 points again.
And I thought they were split in Cleveland. Yeah.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question: if you were to arm wrestle a newborn infant and you were to arm wrestle Hulk Hogan, probably be a little bit of a different result, right?
Right.
They just played the Miami Heat, who stink. And again, you saw them beat the Heat by 70 points. Everyone's like, "Oh, they're so great." I'm like, "Calm down. The degree of difficulty they had was pretty much a 0, and now they're facing a real team. Indiana's again, I'm not overrating them, but they're a solid team. That, by the way, people don't remember this. Anthony, Devon, against the Celtics last year, they got swept. They were winning all 4 games with less than a minute to go.
Mm-hmm.
They're winning all 4 with a minute to go.
Mm-hmm.
That they were a huge favorite in every game with a minute to go, and they lost all 4. People don't remember that. So this is not a garbage team. This is a team that can play with the big boys. Again, I think Cleveland's is going to find a way to win the series, but I think that's going to be a tough one. I think that's going to, I wouldn't be surprised if that goes 7. I wouldn't be shocked even if Indiana won. I don't think they will. I think Cleveland will still find a way to get it done, but I think that's a tough series. I really do.
All right. I like it. All right, Brain, as always, great stuff, my brother. Enjoy. You're off tomorrow. Where are you going to be? You're on the beach? Where you at?
Pebble Beach. You guys ever been to Pebble Beach?
I have not.
Yeah, I was there last week.
What a question. What a question.
Never been to Pebble Beach.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I go all the time.
Man, I love you guys.
I took my G5 there. Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But yep, going to Pebble Beach. Looking forward to playing it. And but I'll see you guys hopefully on Wednesday.
Sounds good, buddy. Hit him straight.
All right, guys. Appreciate
Enjoy
you
it, brother. Send some pictures. All right, there he is, the Brain.
Does he ever do lottery stuff? Brad does everything. So NHL, NBA lottery?
No, I don't think he does lottery.
Nah.
I don't think he does lottery.
Yeah, that's too tough.
Yeah, I think that's
not the draft.
That's a guess.
Yeah.
Right? He's about, making more investment type things.
Just more how he feels about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to it. Charlie O'Connor is going to join us coming up from the All PHLY Flyers. We have the big Flyers lottery, and Brad said correct. No lottery for him. Mm-hmm. He was listening. Yeah.
All right, Brad. Appreciate it.
All right. Let's tell you about a couple of our find sponsors. So you go in that fridge, and in that fridge, there's a bunch of Pabst Light, baby. That's right. Unless Joey took all his friends here over the weekend and drank them all. No. I worry about you coming here all weekend, you and your boys, and pounding all the beers. I love it. Because, listen, if I were you, that's what I would do. Listen, you got to trust Pabst Light, okay? This is terrific. It's new, light, modern beer from Pabst Brewing Company. 96 calories, 3.5 grams of carbs. It's crisp. It's refreshing. It's a delicious light beer, all right? They use high-quality ingredients, so you get that high-quality beer at a smart, approachable price, all right? It's terrific. It's got the same, Pabst spirit, all right? But it's light. It's delicious, and it's light. Learn more about the new Pabst Light at PabstLight.com. Please drink responsibly. You got to be 21 or older. All right. Now let's talk about PARX Casino, Street Road in Bensalem. Oh, are you ready?
I got the solo gig here. Oh, man.
You want to sing?
No, I'm not singing. Not this morning.
Right.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You have the invite. You got the invite if you want it, brother.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Please sing.
All right.
I need you.
Here we go. Here's what's happening. PARX Casino, they got it all. We know it. Action, excitement, headline entertainment, and they got Bill Murray.
I like it.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Yeah. That Bill Murray.
Yes, that Bill Murray.
That's right. One show daily. Saturday, November 15th, 8 p.m. at PARX Casino. Bill Murray in a band.
When I saw that on the sheet, I was like, really?
Yeah.
Bill Murray's in the band?
Yeah.
But listen, basketball guy, as we know.
Yeah, great basketball man.
Great basketball man. Sportsman, as you call him.
He is a sportsman.
Yeah, great movies and all. So I'm not surprised, really.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
He does it all.
He does it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do it all at PARX Casino.
He takes care of the bunny.
Yes, he does.
Right?
Yes,
you know
he
that.
does.
And taking care of break from the silver screen. Bill Murray joins forces with the Blood Brothers, Mike Zito and Albert Castiglia, for a thrilling night of blues, rock, and roll. That's right. You got it. Formed by Mike Zito and Albert Castiglia, Blood Brothers is a culmination of over 45 years of experience from the duo, and together they've won awards for Blues Rock Album of the Year for their debut record. So Bill Murray joins the Blood Brothers on that. So you can get tickets, one show only, November 15th, 8 p.m. PARX Casino, this is how you win. Tickets on sale right now for these shows, June 6th, Taj Mahal and Keb Mo.
I don't know the one. I don't know this song.
Dude. You're already flubbing?
It's the only one I know now. I know the others. I know the others.
July 3rd, Gary Clark Jr.
Here come old Flap Top. He come grooving up slowly.
Yeah, I can't do that.
He does a flap top. He moves his neck. KC and the Sunshine Band, July 18th.
Get down, get down, get down, get down, get down tonight, baby.
Love it. I know that.
Don't he sound like one of these lounge guys?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Get the candles, man.
September 6th, UB40.
Red wine.
All right, comedian Ryan Regan, November 22nd. Comedian Russell Peters, September 27th. PARXCasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. PARX Casino. This is how you win. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yes, indeed.
All right, you ready for a little lottery?
A little lottery.
You believe in luck?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I remember when Pat Croce used to talk to you all the time about when they got Iverson. What was it that he had in his pocket? Like a rabbit's foot or something?
It was a he did. He had this. No, he did. He had a lucky charm.
Yeah, he had a lucky charm.
I forget what it was though. I think he had a rabbit's foot too, but he had some blessed thing.
Yeah.
I was going to get.
So I do believe in it because we're gonna. Charlie's coming up, but they have the lottery tonight. We have the NBA draft lottery next Monday, where we're having everybody come in. And I've been telling people, bring whatever it is that you believe in.
Any lucky charm
for the Sixers to get Cooper Flagg as the #1 overall pick.
Because let's be real.
Yeah.
The only thing that saves the Sixers from oblivion is Cooper Flag.
Well, the first thing is staying in top 6. But the big part of it is, yes, Cooper Flag. Yes, 100%.
That saves the Sixers. If they lose the pick, it's you detonate.
You mean lose top 6?
Yes.
Period.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you forfeit the pick.
Yeah, but if you get
you
one,
detonate it.
If you get one.
No.
We are.
Listen. And then
we're rocking and rolling again, man.
And then you give away Embiid and you give away Paul George and you start fresh.
With Maxey, McCain, Flag.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I'll do that in a second.
I
now you're OKC a few years ago.
Gotta go through some more pain.
I'm all right with that. I got something to watch.
Okay. All right.
Will you keep you want to keep him?
I might keep Embiid one more year.
I got you. I don't listen.
Yeah, one more year.
Here's the problem. I would love to keep him, take a shot with
No,
Embiid
I know you
one
would.
year.
Yeah.
But here's the problem.
You're ahead of schedule. I'm being too stubborn here on this one.
If he can't go, I can't give him away now. Now is the only time I can give him away. I can't give him away next year.
Yeah.
But if next year is
because it's
this
2
year,
years in a row.
Yeah, nobody's going to give you. You can't give him away.
Somebody might just say, I can do it.
Nah.
Just like you said, the Lakers are desperate enough. Somebody might say
it's
that.
1 year. They can't do 2 years in a row of that. Then people go, all right, I've seen it. Done. This is it.
You're probably right.
This is your only window.
You're probably right.
There's still a shadow of doubt.
And that's why I say probably.
Yeah.
Because there's still a shadow of no doubt.
True. All right. The team that's on the rise.
Lottery tonight.
And the team that I can't wait for, that I think is going to be filling that building and getting people excited. Your Flyers. Joining us from the PHLY Flyers show, our man, Charlie O'Connor. Good morning, Charlie.
Morning, Anthony. How you doing?
We're doing good. Now,
doing
Charlie,
good.
You are a very buttoned up fella. All right? You're practical. You're by the numbers. Do you believe in luck?
I believe in randomness. And in randomness,
that's exactly the answer I wanted.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The possibilities are endless. So the Flyers could very well jump up to one or two.
He's an alternate reality guy.
Yes, he is.
He's
exactly.
Not a
exactly.
spiritual, more alternate realities like this is how it works.
Yes. So the Flyers very well could move up from the number 4 slot, which is they finished with the 4th worst record in hockey this past year. But they could jump up. They have a 9.5% chance of jumping up to the number 1 pick and a 9.5% chance of jumping up to the number 2 pick. They actually have like a very minuscule chance of jumping up to 3. But really what we're hoping for tonight from the Flyers is 1 or 2.
All right, explain to everybody 1-2. Everybody knows Cooper Flag in basketball.
Yep.
Explain to the world 1 and 2.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say there's a player in this draft with the franchise-changing upside that a Cooper Flag has, where he's been hyped all year. He's been hyped even before this year, to be honest. But
right.
There isn't someone like that. Yeah, there's no Macklin Celebrini like last year where there was one guy head and shoulders above everyone. But I would say that there are 2 guys who the consensus is kind of coming around as the clear 1-2. Matthew Schaefer's a defenseman. It seems like the general consensus is he's going to go 1. Now, I guess there are worlds where he doesn't, but he has the upside to be a legitimate number 1 defenseman. The comparison you hear thrown around a lot is with him is Miro Heiskanen of Dallas, who missed the entire first round, but he's, in my mind, one of the 10 best defensemen in hockey, so that would be a heck of an outcome. And then the other guy is Michael Misa. He's a center. Had, I believe it was 134 points this year in juniors in the OHL. Has been hyped his entire life, basically. He actually joined junior hockey a year early, which is something pretty rare that only the best of the best young players are allowed to do. They get essentially special permission to do so. Those are probably your clear-cut 1-2.
Explain, now, if you're the Flyers, would they still go Schaefer? even though they need a centerman?
I think they would. It wouldn't blow me away if they just fell in love with Misa and decided to take him. But what I've heard, number one, is that the industry consensus is pretty much, coming around on the idea that Schaefer is the best prospect in the draft. I've also heard,
is he a two-way defenseman or is he more of an offensive?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's two-way. He's got size, he's got skating, he's got skill, he can shut down plays. Like he's very much he'll score points, don't get me wrong. I don't think he's going to be scoring 30 goals and 90 points the way Cale Makar did in the NHL this year, but he's going to be a guy who I think projects to be around like a 55, 60 point a year guy and has the size, the length to compete to make stops. So I've heard scattered rumblings that the Flyers, like many teams, really like Schaefer. So my guess is they would take Schaefer if he's number one. But if it's number two, I mean, Misa's a heck of a consolation prize because, as you said, Ant, the Flyers really, really need a center. They need that number one center to pair with Matvei Michkov. And Misa thinks the game at a really high level. He's a good skater. He's got really, really strong hockey IQ, just finds ways to score and be in the right place at the right time. Seemingly would be a really good fit to pair with Michkov long term. So I would be really excited with both of those options, to be honest.
Who's
Misa's comp? Yeah. I don't really know if I have an obvious comp for him. I mean, there's like a little bit of like maybe Tyler Seguin when he was, at his peak, when he was, near the top of the charts of scoring, but you don't hear obvious comps thrown around as much with Misa, I would say, as much as Schaefer. I hear Heiskanen a lot.
And if they do stick at 4, Charlie, what would they be looking for at 4? Is there a consensus there, or are there a number of guys that you kind of mix in at that number 4 spot?
There's a lot of guys, but I think the assumption, and hey, maybe they could defy expectations, but the assumption is they're probably going to go center if they stay at 4 or drop to 5 or 6, because this is, even beyond Misa, this is a deep draft at the top in terms of centers. You got guys like Anton Frondel, you got Caleb Desnoyers, who's actually the younger brother of a current Flyers prospect, Elliot Desnoyers. You got Jake O'Brien. You've got Roger McQueen. You've got guys in that realm. They got James Higgins, who I forgot about. He was actually the projected number 1 overall pick. He had a little bit of a disappointing draft year. Not that it was bad. It just, I think everybody expected him to blow the doors off, and he was like just point per game as a college freshman, which is good, but not, I need to take you first overall good. So there are a lot of centers in that range, and the Flyers obviously need a center. So the assumption, I think, is that they will go center if they stay in that 4 to 6 range. Now, which center it will be, it just depends on which center the Flyers scouts like the most and which center Danny Briere likes the most. But I would guess if they stay 4 to 6, it'll be a center.
And speaking of Briere and Jones, since they've taken over, we understand the direction of where things are going. But what schedule are they currently on when we do look at these prospects, how they can help? And as far as getting back to that, just being a contender or being a viable team on the ice, where you're looking more for wins now.
I think there's going to be a wave coming this year. Alex Bump has been very impressive for the Lehigh Valley Phantoms since he got signed after his final college season. He was on the Western Michigan team that won the national championship. They're real excited about him. I think there's a good chance he makes the team out of camp. Jet Luchenko, who was their first round pick last year, I think there's a really good chance he makes the team out of camp. They've got quite a few young guys. I guess I would call it,
right?
They're up 2-1 against the Hershey Bears. They won last night. So and the Hershey Bears are an elite AHL team, so that's cool. I think this is kind of the first wave. This year will be like the first wave of the Danny Briere prospects. Now, obviously, Michkov got a year before because he's Michkov. He's a potentially elite NHL player. But I think from here on out, you're going to see prospects coming every year because they have built up the pipeline. There's a lot of depth. And whoever they take with their first pick this year, wherever it falls, I don't think that guy, unless it's maybe Schaefer or Misa, I don't think any of the other guys are going to be ready next season. But the following season, that's certainly possible.
All right. Couple things. One, what have we learned from the playoffs? So these playoffs are riveting. Last night, wild, right? Like, what a game. Because Hellebuck, who had been really going through it, this whole series, right? Melting down, getting yanked,
Yeah.
right? The whole thing. Gives up 2 early ones, right? One in the first couple seconds of the game. Cairo. They're down 2-0 early, and people are like, oh, my God. It's 3-1. They pull Winnipeg pulls the goalie. 2 miracle goals, including one with a second half left to tie it. Peg wins in overtime, double overtime. Wild, incredible game. The playoffs have been scintillating. All right. What have you learned from these playoffs?
I feel like we may be a little early before we can make like generalizations, because ultimately what we learn from the playoffs, and I use that in quotation marks because I don't know if we really learn as much as we think we do from the playoffs. It usually comes down to whoever wins, because then it's like, oh, that team won. They built their team this way. Then that's what everybody takes away. But I do think that, one series that maybe you can learn from is the series actually that ended in 7 games on Saturday night, which was also a great series, the Dallas-Colorado series. I think that series speaks to the importance of depth and the importance of coaching, because Colorado has the better top-end players. They got McKinnon, they got McCarr, and 2 of Dallas's best players in Jason Robertson and Miro Heiskanen didn't play the entire series. Dallas still found a way to win. Now, granted, Dallas has real good players too.
Was
Rand's real good.
Mind.
Yeah, but my point is that shows you like
4 points in a period in Game 6. I mean, he's you get Ranton and fall from the sky. that helps out.
But my point is, there's a lot of people in Flyers world who seem to believe that, like, if you don't have the 4 best players in a series, you're never going to win anything. And Dallas showed that, hey, guess what? Colorado had the best players in the series. Dallas was the best team, and they beat the team with the guys, or the high end guys. So to me, that series shows you can win with depth. And I think that that's something that a lot of Flyers fans, particularly the more angry variety, tend to brush aside as a possibility.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no replacement for like elite talent, though. I mean, Agreed.
But I'm just saying that it's not we talk about, oh, wouldn't it be great if the Flyers had Connor McDavid? Well, guess what? Oilers haven't won a championship with Connor McDavid yet. So there are multiple ways to build a championship team. It doesn't have to be the team with the 3 best players in the league.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Who do you like? Who do you like now in these series? You got tonight, Florida and Toronto, right? Florida. Yeah, it's amazing all between the ex-Flyers and ex-Sixers in the playoffs.
Always.
I mean, here you got Stoley the goalie versus the Bob. All right? Mm-hmm. 2 former Flyer goalies in this series.
Yeah, I don't know how you can go against Florida. I'm of the opinion that I think at some point during this playoff run, they're going to run out of gas, because they've been to 2 straight Cup final. Going to the Cup final 3 straight years, it's a lot of extra hockey. It wears you down. But I think we're in round 2. I don't think they're tired yet. Toronto is a good team, don't get me wrong, but I have to go with Florida. They're too deep. They're built for playoff hockey. They play physical. They wear you down. I think they beat Toronto.
Yeah, Marchand was a good pickup for them too.
Yeah, he was.
How about the other one, Carolina, Washington?
I think Carolina's better. We'll see, because Washington's they've defied expectations all year. But I've gone into the playoffs feeling like Carolina was going to come out of that half of the bracket and then face probably Florida. I'm still holding to that. I think Carolina is, again, the deeper team. They play a more cohesive brand of hockey. I think Carolina runs that series.
Now, I love the West. The West is outrageous, because the West is incredible. Edmonton and Vegas is unbelievable. Like, that's a great series.
It is. And I'm gonna go with Vegas. I am. I think Vegas is a team that has been slept on a little bit, but I think they're a little bit like Florida. They play the playoff style game, and I think that they come out ahead over the Oilers in this one.
All right, I'm rooting Edmonton over Jack. No Jack. And then Jets Stars, which is, I still can't believe Winnipeg won. The way Hellebuck was, and he was great. It was amazing, because he was great in overtime. He started to get his footing in the second period, gave up the 1 goal at the end of the period, but then was money, man. St. Louis had a couple chances. Even after they tied the game, they had a couple chances. And overtime, they had chances. And Hellebuck was great.
No, credit to Hellebuck. He settled in. Obviously, he was terrible most of the series, but when the chips were down, he came through, made big saves, and Winnipeg won that series. I'm going with Dallas. Now, granted, if Heiskanen and Robertson don't come back, the expectation is they'll be back at some point in round 2, maybe not game 1, but at some point in round 2. If they come back, I think Dallas is definitely the better team. If they don't, it's close. But I think Colorado is better than Winnipeg. And they just beat Colorado without those guys. So I have to believe that Dallas can take down Winnipeg if they just took down Colorado.
I got you. That's good stuff. All right. How about Flyers goalies? Now, we know about the young Russian in the KHL, right? Because he's going to be the future.
Right.
Is there any other prospects? Because the one thing you see throughout, again, goes back to the goalie. And we're looking at this series tonight with 2 former Flyers.
Yeah. They have other prospects, to be sure. I mean, the other guy who is probably the one they're most intrigued by is Carson Bjarnason. They took him early, a couple drafts ago, played in the WHL. He's big, he's athletic, he's got a lot of tools. He needs some work. They need to refine him and make him a more consistent goalie. But he turns pro in full next year. This past season was the final season of his junior eligibility. So he's turning pro. He's going to play for the Phantoms, and we'll see what they can do with him. I still like Igor Zavragin better as a prospect, but it's not that I dislike Bjarnason as a prospect. And hey, sometimes the unheralded guy ends up being the guy who takes the reins. I mean, Henrik Lundqvist was a 7th-round pick, and then he ends up being like the best goalie of a generation. Yeah. So you never know. And Bjarnason comes with pedigree, so keep an eye out for him. But I do think that the Flyers are going to try to add an NHL caliber goalie this offseason as kind of a bridge to those guys, because I think they realize that Ersson and Fedotov is not going to get the job done for next year.
All right, the last thing, anything new coach-wise?
Nothing over the last 2 or 3 days.
The Tocchet's now free.
That's the last big piece of news. Nothing over the last few days in terms of updates. But look, it's clear they like Tocchet. Now, do they like him enough to rush and offer him the job immediately? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they want to let this process play out a little bit more, see what other candidates emerge. But it's abundantly clear, like Jonesy's buddies with Tocchet, obviously. Tocchet's part of the family. That said, they might have some competition for Tocchet with Pittsburgh, because I could see Tocchet being an option for the Penguins as well. And Tocchet has a lot of connections with the Penguins too. He played there. He was an assistant coach there. So might not
if
just
he chooses the Penguins over the Flyers, he's dead to me. All right? I love Tocchet, but if he does that, that's going against the family. That's going to the opposite. Are you kidding me?
No, you're right. Yeah.
You choose the Penguins over the Flyers?
Yeah.
Dead. In fact, we'll torture him and torment him when he comes in here. I would listen, I'd go right to the hotel with a group of people.
You know what? Fair, Anthony. Very fair. I think he would look. Tocchet's been here long enough to know that would not be received well in Philadelphia. I'm just saying he was the assistant coach of the Penguins teams that won 2 cups in the 2010s. He's got a really good relationship with Sidney Crosby, so he could be intrigued by that. He could.
Yeah, he could be, but it's no excuse.
Yeah,
you're dead to us. If it came down to it and he chose Pittsburgh, we got war. You're our blood. It's it.
Just like Charlie said.
You went against the family.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. Chuck, what's on tap for tonight for the watch party?
Well, we got our draft lottery party here at the studio for diehards, for PHLY diehards. I believe you can still sign up if you're a PHLY diehard if you want to come down and hang out with us. We're going to be doing I believe a pre-lottery show and a post-lottery show. So either we're going to be, celebrating the big win when the Flyers jump up to 1 or 2, or we're going to be commiserating as a group that they dropped a couple picks. So we'll see. But yeah, we'll have a lot of content for everybody. So watch along with us as we see where the Flyers will be selecting with that early first round.
Did you guys get the food hooked up?
I leave that to Vince, but I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And by the way, I mean, not for nothing, right? It's a perfect day today. Like for lottery, exciting.
Oh,
We got Flyers lottery this week, tonight, and Sixers next week.
That's why, Charlie, you guys started off with the number 1 run, man. Number 1 pick tonight, number 1 pick next Monday. We're good to go.
Everything's coming up Philadelphia, hopefully.
Yes,
That's it, brother. All right. Listen, break a leg tonight. Enjoy it.
All right. See you guys. Thanks for having me.
Buddy. There he is, our man, Charlie O'Connor, all PHLY Flyers.
Just story after story after story at allphly.com. He just,
yeah. He just cracks him out.
Yes, he does.
He cracks him out, man.
Rick Tocchet knows better, by the way. He knows.
I mean, not for nothing.
Now, let me ask you this, though, because like you said, it's the family. Every time it's gone to the family, it seems like things have not worked with the family.
Okay.
You continue to do the family thing, and it doesn't
But we
work.
haven't done the family thing. Go to North Dakota was a family guy.
I just mean keeping, like...
That guy was a mannequin.
I mean...
I see him.
No, I know
in
that.
front of Macy's window like it.
I'm talking more... Yeah, you do. Now, look, Briere and Jones, everything's cool right now. But... just what do you always hear when it comes to Flyers? Why do we keep going to the same? Back to the same.
But again,
people?
that's 10 years. That's years ago.
I'm just asking.
So no, I want to go to the family. I believe in the family. All right, I don't subscribe to that. I don't hear. I know Mikey Miss. There's the Flyers family. He hates it, right? What are you going to get? Who's better than Tocchet?
No,
Tocchet's perfect.
Look, and I am casual as they come, but I pay attention to the Flyers. And I know that when they go away, I do know that Tocchet
I want the family. I want Tocchet.
Yes.
I want Tocchet here. I love it. I love Jonesy and Briere and Danny are turning this thing around.
I'm with you.
You feel it.
I'm with you.
You actually have a play. Michkov is every bit. He's real and he's tough. He's a Russian. He's a tough kid.
Yes.
All right. And he's amazingly talented.
And listening to Charlie and looking at some of the people in the comments, I'm kind of on the Misa part where it's like he fits better.
Yeah.
With Michkov.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Yeah, you get your center.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
You know, I know Kid Schaefer's legit.
100%.
You know, you need a blue liner like that, but come on. I want Misa too.
Yeah.
Because I want a line. You got the M line.
Yeah.
Misa.
Michkov.
M&M's.
Print the T-shirts.
Come on, man.
Print the T-shirts.
Get the M's.
Yes.
Love the M's. M's are good.
Yeah.
I'm in. Make sure you check out PHLY Flyers, noon.
What are you guys doing for next Tuesday?
Next Monday.
Oh, it's Monday.
Next Monday. Yeah,
Monday.
Monday.
Usually it's Tuesday?
No. Normally it's like a Wednesday, Thursday.
I thought it was a Tuesday.
Draft is definitely Thursday, but it's
I know the draft's Thursday.
Now it's Wednesday and Thursday because they have Wednesday and Thursday first round.
I think that Portugal was a Tuesday.
Yeah, so we have Monday. So we're doing everybody's coming in, similar. Diehards, come on in. And we have food, drinks, pop a shot. Of course, try to get your name on the board.
Father Carmine.
Challenge us. Yeah. And anything that you have, any good luck charm that you feel solid about to bring in for the watch party. Next, we have it at 7 or 7:30, right around there, because they still haven't announced the time.
Right.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. Actually, you know what? I'll look at the schedule and we will know, because
that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fun, man.
Lottery.
I know. So
Let's
go. It's bad, but it's good because we do get these two
and
lotteries.
We have drafts. Like, listen, that's what I'm interested in.
That's why
right
you got to keep the pick. Got to keep the pick.
Got to keep the pick.
Got to keep the pick.
Got to trade a B, keep the pick.
Got to keep the pick.
I can't believe I'm looking. I want to trade him.
I know.
I can't believe
I know.
You and I used to fight. So we have a guy, Vinny, right?
Yep.
Vinny, great dude. He's our GM here at PHLY. And he has been on the trade and B bandwagon for how long?
Years. I think it got to 21, maybe, for Vinny. Yeah, I think it was 21.
And he went, and we used to have knockdown, drag out battles. And that bastard was right.
He was right.
I hate to say it.
I'm not there yet.
And I still would fight him and fight him and fight him on it. But, I mean, at this point, I just don't know what changes. It's like James Harden is what he is. It's game 7.
He is.
And he comes up small. He's a choker.
Yeah.
Right? Like, all of a sudden, game 7, like, you think, well, maybe it'll change tonight. Nope. Because that's his DNA. What's going to change about Joe?
I know.
Like, is he miraculous? He's going to be healed.
I know.
He's going to be Buddy healed.
Who went off last night.
I know.
Another 6, right? Yeah. He had a good game against New York in that elimination game. Others did not.
Who?
Last year, Buddy Hield.
Yeah, how did he do the previous games?
But he gave him that one. Yeah, he gave him that one.
How did they get to the point where
was it him or was the coach not putting him in the game?
Yeah, but listen, in all fairness, listen, the coach is the coach.
But you need an infusion.
Speaking of DNA,
you needed an infusion.
Right? Speaking of the DNA of the coach,
yeah,
right? Like everything fit.
No, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
One guy's a loser, the other guy's a choker.
Yeah.
Right? Of course, they're all here, right? Making zillions of dollars. But you know, if you're the coach and Buddy Hield's 0 for 77 every time you bring him to the game, can't hit a shot. Yeah. He couldn't hit a shot. He wasn't even close. He was air balls, the whole thing. Oh, I'm looking at him last night going, this mother father, right?
Yep.
Was horrible here. Horrible. Strength to
and he wasn't good in this series. He had maybe one game where he was good in this series, and he goes off in the first half. Ended up with 33 last night. By the way, just looking at the schedule for next Monday, 2 games. Boston, New York, game 4. Same thing for Minnesota, Golden State. So I'm guessing we're going to be starting. It's a 7 o'clock because the game is at 7:30. So I think it's a 7 o'clock for us for the lottery. So yeah, game 4.
7 o'clock. All right. I like it.
Yeah. And you can stick around and watch the game with me because I am not leaving watching game 4.
I love it.
Knicks Celtics.
You get to watch it. I love that.
Yeah, I'm sticking around. I'll be here all night.
How's Cousin doing?
He's good. Of course, he had a big tip in, gets lost. Big tip in on the tip to tie the game. Jalen Brunson hits the game winner. So it gets lost a little bit, but he had a good game. Man. 25 in that game.
Yeah, nice game.
Yeah, really good defensive plays against Cunningham.
I will say this, though.
Yeah.
That freaking Brunson.
Tough.
You know what's funny? He's the opposite of Harden. Like, tough. You can count on him.
Big game.
But he just comes up. He's just so tough.
Yeah.
I love Brunson.
How much do you incorporate the championship pedigree from when you win other spots? Like they won in college and they won twice.
Yeah.
That's a big stage, man.
You win. You're winners.
You're running through the tournament. Everybody's gunning for you. And
there's money in money situations.
Yeah, Dante, look, for people who were upset with how he beat the Sixers last year, but Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo in those games, they were big. They've been in these spots before.
When you play big, when you win, it is.
Kale getting to the finals in 21. Yeah, you know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
All this stuff. You're Harden. It's game 7. You're going to come up small. That's what you do. I still give.
I got nothing.
I can't believe he had 7 freaking points.
What did he have last year?
It's amazing.
I mean, Boston
game 7.
I think he had something similar like that.
Less than. I mean, it might have been because remember how
they didn't play in the fourth quarter.
Game 6, he just choked. Right, like it was a flat out choke piece.
And he was phenomenal before that.
Oh yeah,
that was the problem.
Yeah.
Games 1 and 4, he won. Game 5, he played a secondary role.
But he was good. Facilitating.
Oh, he was 15, 10, and whatever. Yeah, like 8. Yeah, he was real good.
Game 6.
Lumper.
Choker. What are you laughing at? You two?
Nah, VG is waiting in the green room, and I'm surprised the Utah police haven't tackled him yet or something. He looks so out of place.
I saw them laughing there. Yeah.
We'll get to VG in a second.
Yeah. But no, the Harden 7 points just.
And then the game 7, he didn't show up. You remember against Miami, game 6 in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
What did he do that game? Quit.
He did nothing.
Quit.
I agree.
He's the king of quit.
Good times.
All right. Let's talk about some of our sponsors. Tell us about Little Ace.
Tell you about Little Ace. It's been raining a lot, right? I hope no one has had a problem with any issues getting into your home and all of that with the rain leaking into the house, giving you some problems. I hope not. But if you have, Ace Hardware. They've got you covered. They're right around the block with everything you need to fix it, including the in-person to do it fixing. If you got a leaky pipe, maybe with the weather starting to warm up after the rain, air conditioning, you want to get that straight, they got a person for that. You got a leaky faucet, they've got someone for that too. You didn't take care of it last fall, they've got a person for that too, because now they're not just the helpful hardware folks, they're also the helpful home service and repair folks. From plumbing to heating and cooling, they've got you covered with the trusted pros to keep your home humming all year long. Ace Hardware Home Services at Ace Hardware Home Services. Whatever they need to get done, that next job for you, they remember to bring it, whatever it is. They bring experience, they bring understanding, and they bring helpful to your home so you can spend more of your time on the projects that really matter, like family. Free estimates on equipment installation and replacement with trusted advisors and options that are best suited for your home and budget. Service you can trust and satisfaction guaranteed. At Ace Hardware Home Services, they are local. Visit Ace Hardware Home Services online at acehardwarehomeservices.com to get you started on your very next project.
I love it. All right, couple things.
What you got?
Let's go Golden Nugget Jewelers.
I got some graduations, some birthdays.
Mother's Day.
This sounds right. What do you got?
All right, listen, go see your own.
Okay.
All right, I've told you about Golden Nugget Jewelers forever.
Yes.
Right on 8th and Chestnut, in the heart of Jewelers Row in Center City. All right, you go to your own. All right, it's my main man. I've been telling you about your own forever. In fact, it's a small world. This is Delaware Valley, right? Philadelphia is such a small town. I'm talking to my man, Charlie Folk, right? Charlie, whose son Charlie's a quarterback at St. Joe's Prep. Charlie has a car dealership who's going to be on PHLY, and we were talking about it. And he goes, I was talking about your own. And he goes, your own's my neighbor. It's my main man. Like everybody knows. Like we're all interconnected here. And so you need graduation. You need Mother's Day. Mother's Day's coming up. All right. Mom, your aunt. What about your mother? I mean, your child's mother.
Hey, Mom.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
you got to,
You got
I tell the bro at the beginning, like, you get a baby, you got to make sure you get the gift. All right.
From the kids.
That's it.
That's it.
So go to goldennuggetjewelers.com, Golden Nugget Jewelers, where Philly gets engaged, goldennuggetjewelers.com. All right. Now, I want to, VG and Salt Lake City do not go together.
Doesn't go together.
It's like water and oil.
Well, I'm wondering if he gets, this is a town that is tough on alcohol, let alone whatever VG's got going on.
Oh, he's getting cased right now.
You
The
know?
way he looks.
So let's go to a hotel room in Salt Lake City right now. I think a hotel room. No, he's outside. You're outside.
Is this on? Hello? What's up, dudes?
So you're outside.
Let me put my pineapple parfait down. Hold on. With chia pudding. How we doing?
So you're outside in Salt Lake City right now.
Yes.
Dressed
Yes.
like that.
It's like 50 degrees here. It's cold.
Well, yeah, you're in the
If
mountains.
you see anyone walking behind me, they're all scientists. It's me and thousands of scientists. It's the gathering of the eye research greatest minds in the world. They're trying to cure blindness, prevent cataracts, and here I am hanging out with you guys.
Well, the beauty is your wife, our favorite pagan, is a brilliant woman. She is a research scientist. So you just follow her across the globe.
Yes.
Basically.
I tag along, basically, yes.
And so
yes.
That's why VG goes to all the games, at the bar every night. His wife's brilliant. She's always working.
Right.
Like,
always in the lab.
Studying, smart, research, doing God's work. And he got him drinking beers. He's riding our coattails.
Well, at least he got the parfait this morning.
Yeah.
He knew. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to keep it regular.
But like, if they look at you on the street, you have to stand out. No?
Yes. Oh, I'm like a float. They're like grabbing their briefcases and stuff, holding them all close by. There's two guys over here. They're like retina specialists. They look all spooked.
Yeah, because he looks like, what's his name from Breaking Bad?
Jesse?
Jesse. Yeah, he looked like Pinkman.
Yeah.
You didn't watch it?
I never watched Breaking Bad.
No.
I know of it. I just didn't.
No, yeah, it was a good show.
I heard.
He looks like Pinkman.
What's up, Pinkman?
All right.
What up, B?
Let me see. Can we see around you? Let me see the street.
Looks like a good
It
weather
was a
day,
360.
huh? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And scientists walking. Hello, scientists. That guy's probably curing a retina detachment. I'm at this cup of coffee. Nice little coffee spot.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, here goes some more. Here's more
That's
scientists.
Salt Lake City. What'd you do last night?
Look at the scientists.
Here they
What
come.
up, scientists?
Look at them. Hey, what's up, scientists? There's like a little gathering there.
So I
Yeah.
love this part. I love the idea of, this is one of my favorite parts of doing this show, that we could be anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone in Italy to check in once a week just so I could see it.
I hope you took some of those Nuck stickers and passed them out to the scientists. Right?
Yeah, this might be my last. I don't think I'm coming back to Salt Lake City. We'll say that so far.
Well,
It's all right. I'm slowly finding my people. I found my people a little bit yesterday. Hooked me up with a brewery.
Dispensaries there?
Oh, I got my medicine yesterday. Yeah, they recognized I got a temporary visitor's card for my medicine. We're good. Yeah.
Good. You found it.
His medicine.
Yeah,
Medicine.
dude. I got my
I had
diagnosis.
some medicine the other night, gin and tonic.
That's a good medicine.
It's good to mix. Sometimes it's good to mix some of those medicines sometimes.
All right. What do we got? Now, you had another good weekend, didn't you? Picks wise.
Oh, did you tell Brain? Did you tell him? I'm cruising now.
I didn't tell him.
Yeah. I'm like 4 games above 500 now. Ready to go.
And he's at 500. Dude. So you are you're above him by 4 games.
Yes. Hey, I got a picture of it. Did you guys watch The Big Lebowski?
Yes.
Favorite movie?
I got the dude who was sitting across from me looked just like Walter. I was losing my mind. I gave Andrew a picture of it. Like, who wears a tactical vest? If anything, this guy had to be a federal marshal or something. Someone's going down. That dude's got a gun on him somewhere.
Yeah.
Dude's out of his element.
Yes.
Did you guys see it went viral, this video of, there was a flight attendant and a off-duty cop, right? And they're harassing this passenger, right? This guy. And the flight attendant.
Did he have long hair?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I saw that.
So this is unbelievable, right? So the guy there, this flight attendant, because they had such inflated opinions of what they are, right? They act like they're law enforcement, right? Like,
oh yeah,
I need to see your ID. And the guy's like, yeah, I can't show you my ID right now. All right. So you just got to do me a favor. Like, I'm not, and he was really calm. Mm-hmm. And then this off-duty cop comes over and was like, well, you have to show the ID. And he's like, actually, I don't. All right. The law says I don't have to show you my ID right now. All right. I know the law. And I don't care. You're being belligerent. He's like, I'm not being belligerent. He was like really calm. Mm-hmm. Turns out the guy's an undercover FBI agent.
Oh, wow.
Right?
And they're grilling.
And he was working a case, and his cover was almost blown because these two idiots are pestering this guy. And he pulls his ID from under his face, like, I'm working a job right now. Leave me alone. And he puts it back real fast. And
he's like tailing a guy on a plane.
Video him, and his cover's blown.
Yeah, now his cover's really blown. Yeah,
he's done. Yeah,
it's cracking me up. This flight attendant acting like she's, freaking, give me a cop, Columbo or whatever. Give me a break, dude. You're a freaking waitress in the sky. Stop. All right? Like, give me a break. You're going to harass this guy.
Yeah.
Did he not have the real ID?
Dude,
Is that the reason why?
I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Dude, I got a buddy who, they said he couldn't put his bag overhead. He was like, listen, I'm entitled to one bag overhead. It was the right size. And he had to leave the plane because he made the flight attendant feel uncomfortable. She felt uncomfortable with him on the flight. So either he had to get off or they're going to deboard the whole plane and drag him off. So he had to get off because she was uncomfortable. And he's a PhD scientist, I know. He's a calm guy. He's not violent or aggressive or anything. He's just like, hey, my seat entitles me to one bag overhead. Like,
oh my God, they're the worst. They are. Those flight attendants are the worst. And they act like they're doing God's work.
Yes.
Like these scientists, all these people. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's the worst when they have the attitude.
Oh, they got the attitude.
It's the worst.
It's probably a horrible. I know. I worked in the airline industry. It's tough. When I was in college, I would load the bags.
Yep.
Right. I get it. I flew a zillion times. I was whatever. I get it. But come on.
But it's your gig.
Right. Like
don't take it out on me.
You're walking around like
right.
You're the pilot, you're the law enforcement, you're everything. Stop.
Yeah, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Because check this out. I was talking to a bartender last night, so I got a Manhattan, but they put a rye whiskey and a bourbon in it. And they have these government issued things they measure to make sure it's only 1.5 ounces.
Yeah.
But they only have to do that on the primary liquor. So these hotels and stuff, they add the secondary liquor of rye, which they can measure by hand. And there's human error where they overpour a little bit. So like 5 years ago, they got this new law. So only the primary liquor is measured. So it's a little different. You can get banged up out here if you get something with a conjoining of liquors.
Really? All right. Well,
not interested? That's great. It's like you can't stop us. You can't stop us. You can come up with these laws, but you can't stop us.
Yeah,
we'll get around.
I never understood that law, like, because they were watering down when I was there in the 90s. They were watering down beers.
Yeah. Yeah, so the beers are better. Yeah, there's a maximum of 5% on a draft, so it can't be higher than 5%. But then you can buy a can of 10% beer if you want. It's weird.
Oh, really?
It makes no sense.
Why, you can get the Mad Elf there?
Last night I got a double IPA, which was 9%, in a can. Well, it's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, I went to this bar, Gracie's. I read about it on Reddit. I was looking for a bar to watch the Phillies in, and they're like, oh, some of the Eagles fans gather at Gracie's. Cool little bar. And they put the Phillies on. My bartender, Bailey, she came on shift because I was there during shift change. And she's like, yo, go Birds. I was like, what?
Nice.
And she's like, yeah. She's like, I worked with a buddy out in Colorado. He's an Eagles guy. I just know whenever I see someone from Philly, I just say, go Birds, and you all know what I'm talking about.
Wow,
it's like
really?
universal.
That's cool, man. So in Salt Lake City, the Eagles have made their mark. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a group that gathers at Gracie's bar. They were very accommodating, very good people, good beer, good food.
That's awesome.
Oh, and they got urinals that go to the floor. You know, those old school, like giant urinals straight down to the floor. They don't cut off at the waist. Oh, love it, dude. There's no blowback, no shrapnel flying back on you. Big fan of the floor to.
He sent a picture of one.
Yeah, I'm not.
Dude, look at that.
I'm not.
That's a solid urinal right there.
I don't know.
Nah, man, that makes it even worse. It's already terrible when you said his
you
waist
got the
length
shoes,
and it's all over the floor anyway.
Nah,
now you got it to the
just,
floor, and you know it's going to be on the floor.
It hits the back, it just slides down. There's nothing on the floor. My shoes, my soles were dry when I walked out of there. Completely dry.
No.
Oh, hey, Andrew, I got a picture of Bailey. Did I send that to you? Of the lady who said go Birds?
Let me see. Yeah, I got it.
He's
I got it.
excited, isn't he?
Bailey, urinals, and John Goodman.
Oh, man. Yeah, she is.
All right, Bailey.
Bailey at Gracie's. If you got to go through Salt Lake City, go see her.
All right. We like it.
Tell him to change the urinals.
Cause I can't wait till he gets pinched. You're like three minutes from getting pinched. I keep waiting to see what will happen on the air.
Fit Dad.
Criminal drinking green. I'm drinking a green tea.
Fit Dad says that you're on the lamb right now. You're a lambist.
I feel like it.
You do. You look
at
like
these
it.
guys. I just want to start screaming nerds at all these people.
Do it. Go ahead.
Nerds.
They're nerd. These people are incredible scientists.
This will get him arrested, though. You just said you want to get
I'd like
pinched.
to see him getting arrested.
Hey,
yeah.
get locked.
I want to see him get arrested.
Gotta get bailed
He's like
out.
the bad kid on a field trip.
He is.
He's gonna do like the call people out and stuff like that.
I know.
Hey, what do we feel? Misa?
Yes. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's go. All we need is a number 2 pick for Misa, right?
Miskov, and Matthews.
Yeah, a little Matthews. Austin Matthews. Yeah.
Austin Matthews.
When they lose tonight.
They'll take.
Hello, Austin Matthews.
Oh.
Go get McDavid while
you
you're
get all.
That's right.
You get
all 4 of them.
Did you get pegged up last night?
No, it was a great game. Great game.
Yeah, it was a crazy game.
It really was.
That goal to throw it into overtime was unbelievable.
Yeah. Second and change to go. They score. It was awesome. It was awesome stuff.
How we feeling about the Phils?
How are you
hockey
watching the
club?
Phillies?
Well, yesterday I found the bar, but I got the MLB app. Like I got the MLB package, so I can watch it out here.
Oh, all right.
And I got a YouTube TV. If you travel with YouTube TV, they're just like, oh, are you traveling? So you can still watch your home stuff for like 20 days while you're traveling or something. So much better than the Comcast app. Comcast app, you can't watch the Phillies games outside of your own Wi-Fi, but YouTube TV, you can watch it anywhere. It's great.
All right. All right, buddy. Listen, have fun today. When are you going to start drinking?
About noon, I'm going to go to, there's a great Philly food blogger, Fidel Gastro. His parents own a Mexican taco place out here. So I'm going to go grab some tacos there, hit a brewery, Fisher's Brewery, and I don't know, see what happens.
Have a margarita.
All right.
Cinco de Mayo.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Enjoy it, buddy.
Enjoy.
All right. Enjoy living off your wife's coattails.
Yeah, I love it. You guys look good today.
Yelling at all the
I'll see you,
scientists, man.
See you, buddy.
Yelling at all
See you,
of
brother. VG.
the scientists.
His wife's amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant woman.
Yeah.
Brilliant woman.
Yeah.
You look good over there out there.
Hey,
You look nice.
Looks chill.
I like seeing that
Relaxed.
I like seeing different cities.
Yeah.
You know what I do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a weirdo. But
You're not.
sometimes at night, I like to go on I watch these walking tours.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see this?
On
On-
YouTube or something?
Yes.
Okay.
So you go on YouTube and you can see any city you want in the world, and they'll take you on a walking tour. So my wife and I love Italy, right? So we often do different places in Italy,
Yeah.
and it's so relaxing. Like, we'll just sit there and you almost fall asleep to it. And you watch it and it transport you there.
Never done it. I'll look at it to see what you're talking about, but I don't think
That's not your alley.
It's not up my alley.
Yeah.
But I'll check it
No,
out.
like, listen.
I do.
After all the games, so her and I, we watch our shows. I watch sports.
Yeah.
And sometimes we like to just kind of zone out. And you zone out, like at night, you're falling asleep. Sometimes she'll fall asleep. Her and Massimo like the British baking show.
Okay.
So they put that on.
All right.
Right?
That's a great show. Ron Hollywood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love the British baking show. But her and I, if it's late, like 2 o'clock in the morning, we watch shows or whatever, we're just like kind of like about to go to sleep. We put on a walking tour.
I need to grow up then, because I put on Married with Children.
No, do you really?
I need to grow up.
What's that, BTV?
So I need to do that. But no, I mean, I one of my best friends, he and his wife travel a lot. So he has a page where he does stuff like this. So I watch their stuff. But
Okay.
I've never,
it's
actually
fun.
gone.
And actually, the walking tour is literally, they don't speak in it. You just hear the native language.
Okay.
So you hear people speaking,
Okay.
but they're just walking, and you just see I love it. You just see the city.
Okay.
So Futz in chat is saying they have a VR version of that. So you should take Massimo's VR helmet and do the walking tour. And then that way you can look around and actually feel like you're in Italy or you're in France.
Wow, really?
I think you would love that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
That's very cool. I like that a lot. All right. Man, I enjoyed this.
That was fast.
I know, man. That was a lot of fun.
Fast. Yeah.
Who you like tonight?
Um,
The line, I think, is, OKC's 9.5 on the PARX Sportsbook online casino app.
Yeah, I'll go with OKC. Normally you talk about how many days off teams have had. That doesn't affect them. That doesn't affect them. That doesn't matter to them.
No, they're a machine, actually, I think.
I'll hit that number with them.
And then Boston's 9.5.
I take the Knicks.
That's a lot of points,
I'll take the
man,
Knicks.
right?
Yeah, I'll take the Knicks. Yeah.
I'm rooting Knicks. Listen, I root for your cousin. I always
Thank
root
you.
for your cousin.
Yeah, I know.
Always.
I appreciate that.
That's family.
Yeah.
Family. Unlike Tockett, like you got to make sure you
Right.
choose Flyers.
Right. It sucks though, because it's like I hate the Knicks, but
I know.
wherever he is,
You got to root.
got to do it.
At least better than the Celtics.
Yeah, no doubt. And that was a fear.
Yeah.
Definitely draft time and all. It was like, please, no Celtics.
Yeah.
But this is different because it's the Knicks. I have my little bit of Knicks gear, but it's only like his jersey.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
got to do that.
Yeah, only the jersey. And I have another shirt, but it's a shirt. I actually wore it on Friday or Thursday. But it's his face and just different stuff. So
What'd you say?
it's just him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just him.
That's awesome,
But
man.
he has the Knicks jersey on and all. So yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So I'll go Knicks on the number. Obviously, I hope they win, and I hope they win this series. So
There you go.
we'll see.
I love it. Well, brother, thank you.
Thank you.
Andrew, Joey, great job, boys. Everybody have a great day. We love you. See you tomorrow.
See you at 3.
Go Flyers. See you at 3.
Y'all silly like the mayor.